Talking with Words.
Cameron, you like Terra Firma a lot?
No.
You knew what you were getting with this movie.
Yeah, but I was hoping that it was more poultrygeisty, which was bad but
You,
good.
you watched the first half hour with us, Cameron. The first time we watched it.
And we all had to turn it off,
We did
which
have to turn it
was
off.
which was
That's because we went with the director's cut.
yeah, I know, but if that's the film that you're like, hey, we're gonna watch Terra Firma. Remember the one we turned off?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's okay.
What on
It's not
earth did the
self.
director's cut add?
Don't ask
You don't
that
even want to
question.
Okay,
It's that bad.
It was just really, really
Time
choppy.
will tell.
That was the director's cut. We watched the director's cut with deleted scenes, though.
I think the original's kind of choppy.
Yeah, so this doesn't
Yeah.
make sense, right? What we just watched.
It doesn't?
Now, like multiply that by like 10.
It's not
r-
wrong.
Okay,
It's-
I could see that. It could fall apart.
With
It
the
could be more
deleted
disjointed.
scenes, like just thrown in there, you're like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah, there was no transition. It was cut to black, insert deleted scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which there were parts of this version that it did that. And I'm like, okay, where are we now? What are we doing?
Are we in the real movie they're making, or is this the movie, or is this not the movie? Is this the fake movie?
Well, I got a little bit of that the minute they went from they cut on one scene. The audio guy, the Toddster, walks off with this sound, and then he says, "Let's shoot the fraternity scene." Blah blah blah, and then they actually are in a fraternity scene
Yeah.
Right after that.
right after that,
Yeah.
Toga party.
Which I couldn't tell
and that wasn't part of the movie.
I couldn't tell when they were breaking the fourth
Somebody's
wall.
audio is still on.
Digga, digga, digga. The big thing with this is it cut and it changed what it was how many times?
All of them.
Because we had multiple times where it would just jump. Be like, okay, we're on a movie set. This is part of the movie. Cut. Then we have the actual film we're watching, storyline. And then it'll cut to something else completely different.
Killer chick.
And we don't know where it's coming from.
Well, they joke about it throughout the film.
Oh, it's a
They're
big
like,
piece
"Oh,
of
yeah.
it. And they make
What is this? We're doing rewrites. We're rewriting every day. None of the story makes sense.
the script chick keeps coming up.
Yeah.
Who had elf ears for some reason?
The background, let's talk about that for a second. Everybody on set was used in every single shot that they could possibly use them in. And they were dressed. They were dressing up or they were changing. Like you had guys that were girls by the end of the movie, girls that were guys by the end of the movie, guys walking around with like the big fake tits on. And then the next scene they'd be like in just a normal tank top. They really like playing the continuity joke card. And about halfway through they're like, you know we're playing this joke, right?
We don't use the C word here.
Was all the gender changing costumes, etc., was that just to distract from the storyline? Because pretty early on,
Distract or add to?
or distract because
Hermaphrodite.
you heard me pretty early on. I was like, "Is this reverse sleepaway camp?"
Yeah.
Yeah, you did say that.
And he was just too pretty.
James
He
was
was like
paying
a
attention
regular-
on this.
Oh,
He was a regular Frankenfurter. He was doing the Tim Curry thing.
Frankenfurter, I mean, he looked like Frankenfurter at the
He
end.
did.
Yeah.
Several of the makeup scenes looked like they were doing Rocky Horror.
He
Yeah.
was a pretty solid actor.
Yeah, he did well.
Yeah.
And a lot of that, to answer that other question, a lot of that I think is this movie. Kaufman was doing a lot of the gay rights activism, which I don't know if you could tell that was a big part of the movie, since they kept stopping the film to have a 2-minute speech about independent filmmaking and gay rights and independent rights, and then they'd have a fart joke to seal it off.
It's hard to figure out where they're coming from this late in the game to watch the movie now.
Yeah, since it was shot probably in '98.
It doesn't have the same
98,
effect now
99.
that it had then.
Yeah, a little different. Although, watching this movie still with all the shit they have going on, you've just got the entire time people are having sex
Yeah.
on the screen somewhere in the shot.
They could barely shoot a scene because people were having sex. And then the scenes, half of them were people having sex.
Just the sex itself. It went to a Skinamax sex scene, and then it would cut to a horror, whatever the hell was going on in this movie.
How many times have you watched this? Right.
I don't know.
I don't know.
30 or 40.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no way to die.
No.
If it is, you have a problem.
And do you still enjoy pickling?
Will you
I've
enjoy
never
pickling?
enjoyed pickling.
Will you still enjoy pickling after this movie?
Only Spears, never hold ills again.
I feel like that movie could have been condensed into 1 hour.
That's it?
I mean, yeah, that's generous, right? Like it. Two
It's
hours.
Too much to pack into. It was only an hour
No.
and 50.
No.
Some of the scenes were pretty extra. I mean, did we really need to see the guy in the face mask running around naked to get hit by a car?
Yeah, that
Oh,
was.
yeah.
Run by two
that
random
was
guys
at
that hadn't
least
been in the show at
5
all to that
minutes
point.
long. Like of.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
Or the first death of Todd, when they just scream and it looks like they call cut,
Yeah.
and then they just keep screaming, and then it kind of calls cut, and then they keep screaming,
Mhm.
and we're all like, "All right, we get it. It's yep, it's the Family Guy."
Yeah.
But before they did it,
And then every time they eulogized somebody who had just been murdered, the person doing the eulogy was then murdered.
I was waiting for that to be the rest of the movie.
That's
Stuck in a time loop.
That's in the director's cut.
There's 40 more. So if you're not,
The director's cut with deleted scenes is only about 5 minutes shorter than a Zack Snyder film.
that sounds right.
What's wrong, Cameron?
But hey, very little slow mo. It's all content.
Yeah.
People puking on each other for 2.5 minutes.
The content was people puking.
The gross out factor in this movie,
Yeah,
top notch.
we saw every bodily fluid possible.
You saw everything they could show in a film.
There was, the mom got snotted on.
Mom,
The director was peeing on people pretty early on.
yeah,
Split stream.
While another couple was having sex in the bathroom, her dress got spooged on.
It
Hollywood.
was all the toxic Avenger
Blood, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah,
Blood,
The
vomit.
pudding.
Yeah, the
The pudding.
pants pudding.
This is definitely not pudding.
try it again.
I don't care how delicious fake throw up is or whatever the heck they're using, but even to be thrown up on multiple, like that one guy in the car was thrown up on multiple times. How do you just let that happen?
And they
You get into it.
they were doing it old school too. I mean, as far as effects
know.
wise, they just had mouthfuls of
Here,
vomit.
They were
it's in
yeah,
your
they were mixing
mouth,
it.
And
They
they
cut
throw
him.
up on his head.
They'd have a mouthful of vomit. They'd spit it out, cut,
Ugh.
reload,
Yeah,
back into film, back into frame.
it's the gelatin powder that
Again.
hardens up.
And it had to be a bald head. Had to.
Well, you want it to run.
Yeah.
And
Ugh.
It was awful when the chocolate pudding had corn in it. Once you realize, I wish I'd taken my glasses off before seeing that scene.
and it was just a cow patty against his ass.
Just steamy and hot. Moist.
Well, he wasn't a cow costume.
He was a mad cow farmer, mad cow man,
It was
or
old Scotty, old something,
Steve.
old
Old
Steve.
Steve, old Tom.
Yeah, it was old something.
Let me check my phone.
But then they took the cow mask off of him, a la Scooby Doo.
yeah.
It's old so and so.
Do they not know who played that character? Or
We only saw him in the beginning because I was saying I think everybody in this is from porn, and then the old dude walked in. I was like, oh, not him.
Except for him.
That's who it was.
But why were they so shocked that it was him in the costume?
It was a gimmick. It was just a Scooby Doo.
Scooby Doo reveal.
I don't know if you watched the rest of the movie, but none of it.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a little bit of this movie that's stuck in a time warp. I mean, you might have had to been around in '95 to catch some of that.
When they did the whole
I
Seinfeld,
did like
The Seinfeld
Yeah,
reference.
that was pretty
Yeah.
funny.
It's just lucky that Seinfeld is still like in syndication and people still watch it.
people might still get that joke
Yeah.
if they're so inclined to watch this film.
Oh, please.
And to think, I always the diner scene was the Seinfeld scene.
Yeah.
And then they immediately went into, well, he started talking about pickling right there. He brought his own pickles to the diner.
Which I'm so glad that ended up being a main theme to the movie, because when he started being like, my dad taught me to pickle, I'm like, what? I was with you for the weird shit earlier, but
I thought that was perfectly normal. It's just like a food reference at this point. And no, that got dark.
for the pickle too.
And it's kind of he was obsessed with pickles because
There's a reason.
he lost his pickle.
Pickleless. This man has no dick.
Pickles. Wasn't that an elf in Lord of the Rings? No,
Oh, Pickleless.
Maybe not.
He was
I
very.
think I watched the wrong version.
Right, Lord of
Yeah.
the Rings, James.
I think that was Lord of the Sea Rings.
Was that Power of the Ring?
The Fist of the Ring?
Oh, the ring.
The O-Ring. There we go. I don't know how to talk about the actual plot of the movie, because the plot itself was like 20 minutes long. With the Casey, whatever. Did they ever name the other?
Boom mic guy, is that Casey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Did they name the female persona?
Casey's a unisex name.
Ah.
So there wasn't another name for it, because
No.
I didn't know if she was on
Little
set.
girl.
We saw her going around chopping everybody up.
Early too. Yeah.
Like that was the
Yeah,
first
no,
thing.
just-
The serial killer.
Yes.
On
Bum-bum.
scene, or on set, it was always Casey.
Right.
It was a late
always there as
reveal
the- yeah.
to find out that the girl killer that we'd seen through the whole movie was him. Her.
Yes. There was.
They, them.
There were signs.
There were disturbing signs. Pickling was one of the signs. The fact that
Always
he wouldn't
covering
have
his face.
Sex with her.
Very, very thirsty for Jerry too.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and there's another
He was
foreshadow that I
confused.
was on.
Yeah, you got that one.
At one point, they start fighting early in the movie. I was like, they should just fucking get it over with.
You were
I
right.
was gonna say,
That's
I was a
that's
little
exactly what
impressed. James was
Casey
on
wanted.
it today.
I'm usually not. I don't know what that says about this movie or about me.
I think a little bit of both.
You're learning, James. Well,
He's learning.
Did you enjoy it?
now we have to watch Citizen Toxie
Did you
2 through 4.
enjoy the film?
I did laugh. I laughed
That's
a
not
lot.
the question. Did you enjoy it?
Isn't laughing enjoyable?
No.
He's afraid to say he enjoyed
I
it.
know.
I did enjoy lots of it. I can't say like 100% of the scenes were like great. I didn't like the poop.
But you would watch it again.
It's good to have a line. We're gonna go to here.
I would not watch it by myself. I would only watch in a group setting where I can talk about it.
That's yeah.
So you and Alan aren't going to watch it later?
Alan will never watch this movie.
You're gonna go home and watch Steven Spielberg,
Isn't
aren't
he big
you?
on like Toxic Avenger?
Only when Elvira narrates it.
It's got to be Elvira.
Oh, okay.
For a gay man, he's very, very into Elvira.
It's his persona.
He is that.
Checks out.
So if we can get Elvira over here to commentate while we watch this, Alan's in.
Alan's not invited.
So what I'm also hearing
We'll just
is
FaceTime him at the end.
it's weird to watch this film by yourself.
I've never watched this film by myself.
Is it though?
I wouldn't have the fun that I would have watching it alone. Wouldn't be as much fun as watching it with people. And I said the same thing about the same thing's true about Rocky Horror back in the day. You didn't watch it by yourself. You went someplace and watched it with people because that's the only thing that made it fun.
Dress up and go to the movie theater for that one.
Dress up.
I mean, we could always do a dress up for Toxic Avenger 2.
That's
No, maybe.
I think I need a
Really
trauma
We'll work on it.
trauma break.
Well, about one every 6 months or so.
Yeah.
I guess that probably checks out. 6 months since we did poultry. About
No, the second time. It was
Yeah.
like 3 months ago, 4 months
We
ago.
did it around Thanksgiving, so
Really? 3
it's
months.
been sooner than that, but
oh, wow.
And before that, it was like 2 years when we did it.
yeah,
It's just a lot.
it is. But it's the same action you're going to get in all of them. You're going to have the off the rails, crazy shit, green dripping.
It was just as over the top as Poultry Guys.
But as
I
crazy
feel like
as,
you'd appreciate Nukem High films.
as crazy as it sounds,
Yeah.
Poultry Guys had more of a plot.
Yep, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Which
But-
is like, oh, like I can actually watch this movie because
But
there's
was
a
it-
plot. This one,
Was it any less over the
There's a-
top
there
than
was a
High School
plot.
Musical?
You just didn't like it.
the musical aspect was fun. I'll say that. I did enjoy that this had less musical numbers.
Just one, right?
Well, and it was all they were doing the punk stuff in this, so it would just break to a song as opposed to
Yeah.
them telling you how she thinks she's a lesbian in a song, like in Poultrygeist.
I forgot about that.
Like, oh, this is a musical now.
It was no Anne and the Apocalypse. Sorry, Cameron.
No,
We know how much you love that one.
nothing. Did that pod come out?
No, the audio on the recording didn't work through the video, so we can't hear Mr. Bean, whatever we're calling him now. So it's like us talking, and then the one person that's defending the film
The whole time.
is silent, and then it's just you going, "Fuck you."
So tell me I watched that for nothing.
No, I got some really good sound bites out of it.
Oh yeah.
I know it's not really good. I'll tell you that one.
We could always do a voiceover for the missing
I
audio.
was gonna say.
I'll figure
we
something
could
out.
ADR that one and then put non-matching subtitles.
Different stuff in there.
Golly.
This thing will write itself pretty soon.
Yeah. What would David say in this instance?
I have a theory.
What would David sing?
What would David sing?
Man, he
David
definitely
does sing.
was, sticking up for that one pretty hard.
I mean, it was his idea.
Yeah, it was.
Wait, there were lines in this that would be good songs though. Like all the one-liners they use, like "Thanks for the memories."
Yep. Thanks for the memories.
There's so many
Isn't that a Fall Out Boy
one-liners.
song?
That's things
I think
for the
that's it.
memories.
Oh.
No,
I know you wrote down some more of them. Give us some.
I've got that mother scratcher. You already go into an X-rated film and you're gonna skip off and do mother scratcher. I like that. Let's see,
Who said that? Who said Mother Scratcher? I need context.
Todd. I think in the
Toddster.
beginning
Was it Todd?
The Toddster.
it was like he got all that makeup on my face. He's like that mother scratcher.
Oh, that's right.
It was just one of those ridiculous things. I really liked the. I think Cameron was the one laughing with me on this when they're in the restaurant and she just dumps the stuff on this random guy's table. And he's like, "Motherfucker!" It was so out of place from whatever else was happening.
I'm pretty
Doing
sure.
all those jokes and she comes up with a tampon.
I'm pretty sure it was a white guy.
It was.
And the voice was a black guy.
It was like a really white guy, and they used like a Samuel Jackson
Yeah.
kind of motherfucker. And he didn't move. It was all the ADR because he loves his ADR stuff. You've got farts and squirts and
The slide whistle.
Slide whistle.
Every good
There was
ADR
like
has to be a slide
cowbell,
whistle.
like the
Every time a boob fell out, it was dong ding. I mean, it's like Mad Magazine came to life, is what his directing style is. And it's just,
It's a really good way to describe it.
I think I thought of that last time. I was like, man, I need to remember that one.
Yeah. Save
The
it for the pod.
the gross out and I mean, they can go all the way to rated R and show nudity clearly. Little things, a little bit for everyone, right, James?
Couple of little things.
Very little things.
About two.
couple nubs.
2.5.
I think what's crazy about this is I'm imagining Lloyd Kaufman directing this exactly how his character directs this film.
Which means
He was directing himself.
he achieved the illusion then.
Like he's just a blind guy trying to direct these cast members.
I thought that was a great analogy, great role. Blind director.
Troma movie fact.
In
It
all
was
his
edited
movies,
by
man.
a blind artist.
Yeah.
I still
Is
am
that
not
what I said?
Yeah.
quite
Yeah.
sure what the point was in the deaf girl, she wasn't deaf. She just couldn't speak.
She didn't. She hadn't spoken
Yeah,
since her
mute.
mom was trampled to
mute.
death after
A movie
whatever
premiere.
And the whole
Larry
movie,
David
she's just like,
knockoff
Yeah.
talk show.
And they would just cut to her ever so often to remind you that she's there because we're gonna use that later. We'll come back to her.
First time I watched it, I remember I was like, "Why is there a child on set?"
Man, she comes out leading him around. I was like, that looks like a kid.
That doesn't
they
make
did a
me
lot of
feel
foreshadowing for that one scene that she blossomed in.
Which they did they included all their foreshadowing. We talked about her, talked about her nose, prop knife in the side of the head. All the little things they dropped in. We're like, yep, okay.
Yeah, this movie's good. A lot of things to check out.
That's the
continuity joke.
The continuity joke. I laughed way too loud because it turns to the person talking, and then when it turns back, they're wearing completely different clothes, and they do that like 3 times. Like, that's for people that don't know what continuity is, because they've been doing it the entire movie in the background.
I think if you want to teach a film class what continuity is, they just need to show that clip.
Well, is the book.
That's the first time I watched
There's
it
a book.
in my film lecture class.
It's based off a book by Lloyd Kaufman and James Gunn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everything I know about filmmaking I learned from The Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
I have a copy of it if you'd like to read it.
I'm in. Is the book the same thing, or does it have any real content in it about filmmaking?
I haven't finished reading it.
Okay.
Just
Let me
skim
get
it.
back to you.
Is there a plot in the book?
Was there a plot in the movie?
No.
We have to make this film. That was the plot.
It was a mystery. Obviously, that was the.
And all I could think of
the plot
was
changed every day with
Yeah.
the rewrite.
all I could think of was Hummus from Poltergeist when they
Yeah.
showed
The
the female fatale
yeah,
killer with the ADR voice and everything else.
with Lemmy doing his thing at the end.
Lemmy, they got Lemmy. That was
Yeah.
great. And Matt and Trey from South Park, they had one skit, I guess they asked them to do, so they wouldn't. I'm sure they filmed it themselves, and because it was continuity.
Sent it in, yeah,
I wonder if that was
Filmed
before or after.
on location in the town of South Park.
Was that before or after they showed up to that award show in dress?
This would have been before that, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, pretty close probably, because South Park was like gaining its.
I was
They
gonna say,
looked
so-
about the same as I remember them in their dresses on the red carpet.
99 was when it kind of hit.
It's around the time they did basketball.
Yeah. Because just like they said, I think I got that at Blockbuster.
Yeah. That was the first time I ever saw this and Tromeo and Juliet was at Blockbuster.
That checks out.
Yeah, I'm not watching that one.
It was not the Leonardo DiCaprio version.
There's a big difference.
I will say, you probably shouldn't watch this film if you have a fear of escalators.
I was about to bring up the escalator.
Were you?
Yeah.
Most gruesome death.
And the guy, the guy died kind of the same way as he did in Poltergeist. Not shitting, obviously, but
I mean, he probably did.
sitting just screaming because what are they going to do with that huge dude? But they want to have him die so they can throw all that shit in the air.
Besides tumbling him down the escalator.
that dummy looked like it was just made of wool or something.
Yeah.
All the dummies in this really were pretty fantastic. I forgot about the Pickles magazine, and then the pickle masturbation,
Yeah.
which there's like 2 or 3 of those where they're going hard on the sex, and it's like her. They give you a minute to like let her get into it, and then her mom started hacking in the next room, and they just hard cut the audio of her like orgasms to Jennifer. And the mom herself, holy shit. That was fantastic.
That was art.
Oh,
Just
That was art.
snot.
every
And they were replacing it. Every time they cut away, when they cut back, she had fresh shit on there. They didn't want to.
How did they get these
Just
people to play
dribbling
these
down.
parts, man? Like,
I'm making a movie this summer if
like
you're free.
Whose grandmother?
If you don't have anything to do, Cameron.
Whose grandmother is that? Who's signing up to
Mine would
run
have.
around with a micro penis?
Well, maybe not with a micro penis. Well, no, Billy was cool.
Who's signing up for Billy? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, like, you're not getting paid well.
Some people just enjoy being naked.
You can get paid in pickles.
Maybe it was like a, hey, you get to run around New York City naked. Maybe it was like a thing for him.
They're like,
Trying
we
to
need
check
a
out
sound
the
guy.
list.
He's like, I'll be the sound guy, but I really want to be naked in New York.
That was his writer.
I'm serious, man. Like, who signs up for this stuff?
There's a lot of stuff we need to show you, Cameron.
Trying to break into the industry.
You're gonna be a star, I tell you. Go ahead and rub that fupa.
Oof.
That was something.
This movie I'm producing. Yeah, her, because we had the bong, which I was really hoping we'd have the Roger Smith kill, where there's an episode of American Dad where he kills a guy with a bong and he stabs him with it, and the guy starts to kind of talk and he just pushes it into his gut. I was really hoping we were going to have something like that, but instead she pretty much sliced his face and head off.
Yeah.
Turned his brain into jelly.
Got his brain out.
And-
This is your brain! Because we have to make sure the audience understands that that's brain.
Yeah.
So let's say it out loud.
Sizzling in the skillet of cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, that's another joke that... Who's going to get that if you're watching it for the first time? When's the last time you had a This Is Your Brain on Drugs commercial?
Forgot that was a real thing until tonight.
Yeah. And she started doing it, I was like, oh, okay. That's a 90s. Was that just a PSA?
Yeah.
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 This is just like one of any of those random stop smoking commercials.
Yeah. God bless America.
Pretty sure they made us watch that commercial in Dare several times.
That'd be right.
Back when they still did that. Did they
So
do that
effective.
in school anymore?
I mean, they
Is that a
have
real
to.
thing? Dare?
I think drugs are legal now.
I mean, it's not Portland.
That's true.
They don't have the 80-year-old women with the voice box.
Oh, yeah.
You're not. I mean, scare tactic is not a thing without the voice box.
And depending on who you know with the voice box, you might just hang out with the bar with them.
We know a guy.
Yep.
They're coming right for us.
Yeah.
That's got to do it. I'm trying to go through all the kills real quick. I didn't write them all down, apparently.
I mean, the first one is pulling a guy's leg off, and he's just hanging
They
out.
were
Oh, shit, I forgot about the intro, the serial
They were
killer
listed
intro.
in the credits.
Yeah, I did like that they showed the character's name and how they died in the credits.
So if you caught it,
I didn't. Just
the mom died shortly after bacterial infection.
Oh. So did everyone die?
No,
the
not
mom
everybody.
died. Jen's
But-
mom died.
Squib death victim. Yeah, death by bullet to head.
Oh, yeah.
Death by severed fingers.
Oh, off the building.
Actor hanging off building. Yep.
I was wondering what that was. They were supposed to be razor blades?
Killed by crew,
Yes.
not ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just cut to that. Not razor blades. No.
Again, we're back in the movie.
Well, they're
Yeah.
they're playing it off and want you to think it's girl Casey.
Yes.
Right. But it's the
No,
movie.
it's not. It's the movie.
Because she even had sunglasses on
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
scene.
Continuity. Hey.
And they called out a lot of the stuff. Ah, you're yanking on my dick. Like, they would verbally tell you what was happening in the film, which I always find weird.
Well, that's because the director was blind.
Which I give it a pass in this movie because the director was blind. Like, it's one of those things. Did he do that as a joke about them doing it in movies? Or is it just something that lined up that way?
Again, he's directing this
I'm gonna
film
say both.
as Sonny.
There's a
Yeah.
stroke of genius to this film.
Like James said, whatever it is, this is it.
The best version.
The best version of it.
Whatever this is the best version of it that I've ever seen.
I think there's something better than this out there. There has to be.
Oh. Yeah.
'Cause
Well, you already said you like Poltergeist more
That's-
than this
Yeah,
one.
that's better
Yeah.
than this one. for
Really
sure.
good.
It's okay to put it on a spectrum.
I mean, Lloyd Kaufman's in his own spectrum. Okay, like it's just
Yeah, if somebody else did this, it'd look like a shameless ripoff.
Well,
yes,
then
that is true.
he did create the category of trauma, did he not?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's his thing. But you've also got, like,
When you don't fit in anybody else's box, you're on your own.
this is the freak out what did it say on the thing, like horror punk whatever version of that, but then you go to like Canon Films and it's this version of 80s action movies, really low budget, really shitty. You see it like this, but it's action. We'll watch a Canon film next. You'll love it. Actually, you've probably seen a few of them.
Yeah, so we don't need to. We're good.
We'll find you something real good.
Something good.
Real nice.
I'm due.
I'm trying to...
We watched something really good like 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Deadpool and Wolverine.
That was a month and a half ago, my guy.
He's got a ticker on his phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was 2 ago when you showed up. So if you showed up every week,
No, see,
we'd get a better gauge of time.
No, I have this new cadence that I'm doing. It's working. Actually, it's probably not.
I was going to say, how's it going?
Because at any time I can show up and you can just change the movie to some new shit you got up your sleeve
You're getting it.
or in your.
We were actually going to watch
I
the
gave
first
up asking
Deadpool
what
until
movie we were
Rob
going to
said
do
you
a
were coming.
long time back.
I keep saying that I need to start asking, but again, it can always change. Doesn't matter what they say in text form; it can change.
Yeah.
So, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
We're just going to tell you
Yep.
whatever you want to hear.
Yeah. Just tell me I'm pretty.
Well, that is a theme in this film. You
It is.
beautiful bastard. I don't want to bomb. And Ron, Jeremy, you missed him the first time.
I wish I didn't see him at all. To be honest.
Because it was weird, and the first time he's on film, the flashback, he's like, you think he's a nice, good dad?
Yeah, he's the loving family man.
You're like,
That checks out.
like, that's an interesting thing for him to play. And then the next time we see him, you're like, oh, no, he's raping his kid. Okay. Got it. Yeah,
Yeah, that
that
guy-
checks
He's
out.
been
That
stuck
got
in a
really
cage
dark.
for the last 12 years.
What was Mom doing? Was she baking Xanax or something? Like, what was?
Yeah.
What was that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All her dinner was pills, apparently.
Yeah.
With her little rotated, was it like Lazy Susan of meds? Can you still say Lazy Susan?
Sure.
Yeah. It's still what it's called.
Lazy bitch. But then the next time we see him, he's missing a whole lot of his body. Except I really like
Eye, a
that
nose.
they
lips.
didn't do any, like his whole face.
It was lunch meat.
Yeah.
It looked like lunch meat.
Well, it had to be used to. But they didn't do anything with his mustache.
It was all pickled, so it was safe.
So, like, underneath the lip, you could see his mustache. Because you know he probably can't shave that off legally. Or couldn't. I mean, he's in jail now, but probably couldn't shave it off. It was probably a.
I don't think anybody would recognize him without the mustache.
Yeah, it's in the
Yeah.
contract. He's got to have it.
It's like Henry Cavill from the Superman remakes. It's like, no, I wrote a contract. I have to keep the mustache on. So CGI it, I guess. No, we're just gonna put a mask over your mustache. But I did like the teeth prosthetic in that one. And then I did like that they were doing the prosthetic head mold for our naked friend
Yeah.
running around. I was like, oh yeah, they're doing that wrong. I know that now. It's one more thing I can shit on later. He was like the mummy.
They were barely doing anything. They just had him wrapped in gauze.
Well, like, it looked like they were putting sunscreen on him.
Trying to set the scene up.
Yeah, they had to set the scene. And then another naked lady,
I mean, he was living a great life right before he died.
right before that car fell on his head.
He didn't see it coming.
And then blew up. See, that's the shit that is so good in this movie. You never know what the hell you're going to get.
That's for sure.
Gotta keep you guessing.
What was...
You're never gonna get it right. If
James got it right several times.
guessing
I can't
like the
believe that
death.
Yeah, which direction those scenes are going to go? Not a chance.
So all of the killing of the cast members. This is supposed to be Casey
Yes.
driving both trucks.
Yeah, now you're looking into it. Don't do that. That's silly.
I mean,
Okay,
why?
you spotted a hole there.
Well, Casey wasn't killing everybody. People were just...
just
Dying.
falling, just
I mean,
dying
he was
left and
held-
right.
He facilitated several deaths.
Well, remember how unprofessional this work environment was.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the movie.
Even though they had 3 safety rules.
Number 1, keep people safe.
They did not do a great job.
Number 3, make a good movie.
Yeah.
Still didn't do a good job.
I did really like the light falling on Steve, I don't know if he was just a crew member, but they pulled it off at the end and say, oh, he's got a fro.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had a shaved head when they dropped it on him. Just little shit like that. You're like, what? And that would happen all the time, where they'd end the scene and something would happen. You're like, what?
It's because they don't like the C word.
What?
That was their takeaway.
Yeah. Like, I've got a hermaphrodite. You got beat up by a girl, and they just laugh at the guy for a full minute. Shit like that is why I like this movie.
You got beat up by a girl with a nut.
Oh shit!
James, your face is glowing. I need to get me one of these lights.
I remember my 30s.
Yes.
This lighting is bullshit.
We'll hook you up next time.
At least I have company on my side.
You do. I like that you picked a very quiet companion.
Yep.
That worked out. The last note I had on this one was the trucks, when it pulls away and he's laying there screaming, and Jennifer comes up and she just starts putting his leg back up to the other piece of his leg.
After she dabs it with the tissue.
Puts the
that she
tissues
used
on
for
it.
Everything.
So what was
Yeah.
her role in the cast? Like the cover-up chick or the...
Some sort of assistant.
She was
She was trying to cover up the tits. whenever
assistant
there
to
was
the
tits.
assistant director.
Trying to cover
Yeah.
up any like gore whenever there was extra gore. That's all she was doing.
I think
She
one
was
of the
like an
scenes,
associate producer or something.
one of the scenes the actress was crying, so it made sense to have tissues. But in most of the other scenes, it's like these tissues won't do anything.
Yeah.
And it looked like she kept bringing out the same tissue in every scene. Like
Not cleaning up all that goo.
it was so
especially for
low
grandma.
budget, they had to hold on
Her
to the
mom.
same tissue from every scene.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, we'll have to see what her actual title was supposed to be.
I mean, it's not really that important.
Let's roll it back.
Let's just rewatch the whole thing.
I was just curious why she's on this set.
Well, because of her O face, clearly.
Yes. And,
Remember, she wanted to
She
become a
wants,
director.
she wants to be a director.
I get it, but
Oh, the cockadoodle-doo. Yeah.
you said O-face.
I forgot about the rooster call
Yeah.
during the sex in front of the entire cast that you forgot was there. Cast and crew.
It was a closed
Close.
set.
After the
Yeah.
closed set, after the scene.
Necessary personnel only.
Bring in the 30 children.
My
They're my third grade
Third
teacher.
grade teacher. And some sort of radio talk show host that we didn't place.
Yeah, Joe Franklin.
Again, who's being like, yes, I want to be in this film for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
He lost a bet.
Somebody knew
Maybe
somebody
so.
who knew
Maybe
somebody.
They needed one more name. They're like, I know Joe. Let me call him real quick. Still Lemmy. That was like Lemmy in his prime, too. 99, 98. Still coked up and chain smoking cigarettes.
How famous is Lloyd Kaufman? Because his co-author on said book did a lot more.
Well, Gunn got his start with Kaufman and then went on to make some of his films that were very more that genre. Did we watch any of his earlier stuff with you? I know we've done Super, and like Slither was between,
Oh, yeah, was James Gunn.
but before that you also had fuck, I thought we did it. I'll think of it in a minute, but I'm not thinking about it. But he did all that before he got involved with Marvel, and then now running somehow the largest comic book production in the world.
Kind of crazy.
So all I got to do is make a couple movies with Lloyd, and I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Apparently.
On our way. James, are you gonna make Alan watch this now?
Yeah, he's not going to watch this.
But he enjoyed Poultrygeist. He did.
That's generous.
He enjoyed it. I think he enjoyed the conversation of Poultrygeist more than maybe Poultrygeist.
If I recommend a movie for him, it's guaranteed not to get watched.
Okay, Cameron is going to text him, and
I'll text him.
you need to watch this. You can get ready for the pod.
Yeah.
So you can follow along. He'll watch it.
Yeah.
Well, he'll watch 10 minutes of it and turn it off. But
I can't blame him. So,
like the first time we tried.
yeah. Absolutely, without question, do not watch the director's cut.
With deleted scenes. Adding in
The deleted scenes is what
was the
did it.
problem.
If you're a sicko, you can watch this film too. But absolutely, do not watch
You're allowed. If you're a sick fuck, you're going to love it.
I give you permission to do it. And again, if you are watching this by yourself, that is a little weird. It's a weird movie to watch by yourself. It just is.
Film students.
Ryan.
Don't make a case for it.
What?
Ryan,
Ryan.
Ryan.
there's so many.
Just
other
because
films.
I brought this film over.
And I've watched it 2 dozen times. Hey,
I'm
I'm going to watch it again.
I can't imagine watching it by myself. Maybe that's what it is. Because to your point, if you're going to watch
Well, that's
something,
because you have small children running around. You
It
don't want them
ha-
to walk in on that.
it has to be in a circle jerk communal type vibe, right?
Yes.
Is that not?
Worked for me.
Not watching movies with Cameron anymore. I don't like where this is going.
It just doesn't feel right if you're not doing it the way we did it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Finger and pickle.
And pickle.
Definitely have. Oh, there's a sponsor. Pickles.
After that, I don't know.
Bring my own jar of pickles. We can sponsor that.
I'll bring some cucumbers. I'm out.
Deconstructed pickles.
Yeah, deconstructed pickles, please.
Just vinegar and cucumber.
The vinegar's got to keep her clean, though. Yeah.
Balance the pH.
Isn't that what's in a douche? A vinegar compound or something back in the day?
I don't. You're asking the wrong people.
Let's see. I think that's right.
Yeah.
We grew up with we grew up with every comedian making fun of Summer's Eve.
Yeah. Which I did expect a bloody show
Oh,
kill in this one
golly.
when she was talking about it.
Oh, with the Popo?
With Popo, yeah.
Yeah. Which makes more sense of why it wasn't now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe. That car wreck of a thing down there.
Yeah. So, spoilers and warnings. You're going to see some Hermaph stuff in here.
All the stuff.
You're going to, yeah, just be prepared.
No
Yeah.
samesies.
Yeah, Lloyd's got a thing, too, for, like, broomsticks
Yeah.
entering and exiting.
Well, in Poultrygeist, it was a broomstick going in the dude's dick. No, in his butt, out his dick.
Right, you got the little dickhead on top of the broomstick.
Yeah, and this one, it was the reverse. It went in his
Correct.
vagina, the vagina,
Yes.
ish.
Their
Yeah.
vagina.
But it was the boom mic from the daughter that suddenly
Learn how to talk again.
started speaking, and
So much continuity.
He was just a big Frida Kahlo fan.
yeah. And then she was.
What the?
That's time.
Console will turn off in 5 minutes.
Take me
It's been
home,
an hour.
James.
Go watch this movie. Cameron liked it.
I'm.
Really good.
That's the only takeaway.
Yes.
Does this have a trailer?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Maybe start there.
How long is it?
Maybe start with the trailer and then, listen to this. Decide for yourself.
You're gonna watch it.
Grab some buddies, I guess, if you're gonna do it.
And then grab some buddies and some lotion.
Yeah. Do it
Have yourself a
right.
time.
Do it right. Some pickles. That's it.
Anything else, James?
I'm just thinking #trailers for Cameron.
Oh. Send them in.
Get it trending, people.
You're gonna have a whole load of random shit to send you. My email just got blocked. All right. Thanks for listening, Charlie. Take us home.